Um, but now with the NBA Finals over, we move on to the off season. Obviously, the biggest name in this off season is Giannis. Um, Celtics have, according to ESPN and every freaking person on the internet with sports, Celtics have sent an offer to the Bucks that has been centered around Jaylen Brown, and Giannis has said that he'd be willing to sign an extension if he was traded to the Celtics. Probably be like a 4-year extension. Um, be crazy. I think, and they're saying that the deal could be done within like the next week,
Yeah.
which is
I've also
quick.
seen the other team I've seen that Giannis has come out and said he really wants to go to the Heat,
Right.
but like Celtics definitely have a better package than the Heat to send. Uh,
Right.
and we saw with like the Damian Lillard trade years ago that like even if your star wants to go somewhere, it's like the GM or the owner or whatever, like the president of basketball, whoever's going to be making like the final say on that trade, is going to want to recoup as much as they can. You have a top four, top five player in Giannis, even higher depending on his health, right? You're not going to settle for Tyler Hero and 2 first round picks. Like,
Right.
nothing against Tyler Hero, but he's no Jaylen Brown. Like,
No, no, exactly. And the thing is, like, Giannis doesn't even have a no trade clause, so it's like he
no,
can't like say if he wants to go somewhere or not. Like, it's
yeah,
kind of he can say he wants to be traded, and obviously that's been clear for a while. And like at that point, you're kind of just like left to whatever the GM wants, wherever is going to fit. He's the GM of the Bucks has to do what is in their best interest for their
yeah,
team that they're managing. At the end of the day, I think I think the Heat, like obviously, I think the Heat have been said they're a front runner because of the fact that Giannis has stated that he wants to go there publicly,
yeah.
and so I think that's the only thing that's keeping the
The
Heat
Heat,
in
yeah,
these trade talks. And obviously, like according to all these reports, they're saying that like the Heat are still like trying to actively send offers and packages to the Bucks to see if that's
yeah.
like something they take. I think another dark horse candidate that's probably has a not probably definitely has a better package than the Heat would be the Blazers. I've seen them, a big name. I mean, pair back up with Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
His
they'd have
home
a better supporting cast with Klingon and Advia.
Shane
And
Sharp. The thing
yeah,
is that like a trade for Giannis for the Blazers would definitely revolve around Scoot Henderson or Shaden Sharp. I don't think the Blazers send both of those players out, but one of those two players, I think probably will be a Scoot Henderson in my opinion, because I think Scoot
yeah.
has shown a ton of improvement in the regular season last season.
He's just injury prone, which is
And
the
he's
downside.
right. So I think, and they have a lot, and the Blazers own lots of the Bucks picks,
Yeah,
and I think that's probably pretty enticing if you're the Bucks, knowing that you're going to be going into a tank. Obviously, the new like tanking rules and the draft lottery odds and things like that definitely affect that to a certain degree, which kind of doesn't give Portland the edge as much as they would have had given the rule changes and whatnot.
yeah.
But I think if you're the Bucks, I think you probably do the deal with the Celtics. I mean, Jalen Brown is a fantastic player, definitely like a franchise guy that you could build around. I mean, he's still very young. Like, I believe he's 26. I was looking it up earlier. 29. I was way off. I mean, 29. I mean, like in today's NBA, like that's still like probably 3 or 4 years of serviceable ball that you can
Yeah,
play and you could build around him. So, I mean, I think, and they have the number 10 pick in the draft. Maybe you try to move up in the draft as well with the assets you get from trading with the Celtics or something like that. So like I
I
think
did.
there's the Bucks have a lot of flexibility with what they can do and probably bounce back relatively quickly.
I did read an article that was an interesting like take, and it was that if the Bucks got Jaylen Brown, they'd be interested in moving him for additional pieces. And I did see that the Clippers would be interested in that and sending the fifth overall pick and somebody else like a Garland or someone like that to Milwaukee and keep Kawhi, which would be a very interesting thing. That is probably way far off, but the number 5 pick does have a lot of pull, especially in a draft like this. if the Bucks wanted two top 10 picks, like that will boost your rebuild in no
Right.
time.
And then you could draft a guy like a Keaton Wagler or Darius Acuff, get a guard that you
Yeah,
want. And
you can take the upside of Darius Acuff probably if I was the Bucks, like, and then pair him next to like a Braden Burries or if he's available, a Damara. Like you could get a nice rookie duo and uh,
right.
keep some of the veterans you have around him, or maybe you trade everybody. Maybe you trade Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, just have all young guys. But I think the Bucks, like, luckily Giannis is worth so much. You're going to be in a good position in the next couple of years. It's going to be rough for like a few years, but like you'll be set up. I think you can be a quick rebuild. I don't think this is going to be a 5 6 year rebuild.
No, not at all. I don't think you're gonna have like OJ Mayo leading your team like in the 2010s, So it's like I think they're gonna be in a better spot as the Bucks. Like, you're not I think Kuzma would be a hard contract to move because he has a pretty like fat contract for like what he can do for your team. Obviously he's not bad. Like, I think Kuzma gets a lot of hate and he like a lot of it is deserved for sure.
He's
But
not
I
worth
think
what he
he's
used to be, though.
Yeah, no, he's not what he used to be. He's definitely like had a Ben Simmons kind of arc for sure. But I think if you're the Bucks, even you know, just try and maybe take a flyer on like a Nate Ament or Yaxel Lendenberg, at
Yeah,
number 10, right? Like, try and get a guy that can still keep, because a lot of the Bucks' identity is in their size. I mean, you got Bobby Portis. I mean, you had Brooke Lopez, and he was playing for them. Giannis, like, tons of size. Even Chris Middleton was a big, forward for them.
yeah,
Obviously, didn't like have a lot. Like, obviously, wasn't a very athletic forward, but still a great, added size to your team and
yeah,
provided good value on defense. And I think you could definitely keep your identity as a team drafting, Darius Acuff Jr., trading for Jalen Brown. I think either way you can't go wrong, truthfully.
yeah.
I think Clippers are in a hard situation to be able to pull off a trade like that. Is it outside the realm of possibility? Definitely not. I think Giannis is going to be. I think the Bucks would be smart to listen to offers from others teams. Like the Clippers,
The
like the
Clippers
Blazers.
the Clippers was more so like a 3 team trade, right? Let's say like if the Bucks don't really want to build around Jalen Brown, they can reroute him for additional draft capital and get draft capital from both Boston and LA, and
Yeah,
really jumpstart the rebuild.
I think that'd be smart. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that happens. Honestly, I mean, Jalen Brown and Kawhi Leonard. It's not definitely not a bad big two
No,
in LA. So be interesting to see what happens with the Clippers, and obviously see where looks like likely Giannis will be heading to the Celtics, which I think would be. I
good
mean,
for him.
Tatum and Giannis, man, that's a pretty crazy front court. So,
Yeah,
especially because of the flexibility. I mean, both of them can play the four, both of them could play the three. Giannis could play the five for them if needed. Like, they
yeah.
could have a lot of flexibility with lineups, and you still. I think in a trade, they'd probably still have to include Peyton Pritchard for salary purposes, and I think the Celtics don't have as many draft assets, so they'd probably have to throw another player in there to make it work. And I think including a third team might be the way to go if obviously the Bucks rebuilding want to have draft capital.
Yeah.
So
Maybe make a 3 team trade with Portland, right, and get your own picks back and
right,
do something like that.
reroute if you wanted to reroute Brown to Portland. I'm sure the Blazers
And
would be happy to
he'd,
have
he'd fit on that team
Damon
pretty well.
Brown, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson. I mean,
Denny Advia would be,
Denny Audia, of course. I always forget about him.
yeah, he's their
he
all
had a
star.
great he had a great season last season, so
Yeah,
I think the Blazers will probably be, if that happens, the Blazers could be a kind of a dark horse in the West for sure.
yeah,
Could be a team that could make some noise, given that Damian Lillard's back to you know normal as far as production and clutchness goes. So, um, other than that, I mean, off season, I just read that Mark, whatever his name is on the ESPN, looks like Austin Reeves is probably going to end up with the Lakers, which doesn't surprise me. I think LA is just one of those teams that they try to keep those guys like Austin Reeves that kind of you know they're good contributors to the team.
Yeah,
I think the Lakers probably would be better off letting him walk or do a sign and trade or something like that. But you know,
yeah,
obviously, I don't know anything. So
yeah. No, I they're not going to be like worse off for it than they have been, but I don't think that that money's going to be like well worth it if that makes sense. Like I think Reeves is a great player, but for what he's going to get, I mean, I don't think LA is going to win with that. And how loaded the West is, and how many teams are up and coming in the West, like it's a gauntlet. And yeah, you have Luca, who's amazing, and Reeves, who's a really solid player. But it's like, is that duo gonna get you past OKC or San Antonio? Like, I don't know. I think LA is a unique team. I think they'll be within like how they were this year, between 4 to 6 in the West, and maybe even dip into the play in depending on health of players. But uh, I mean, you do have a good player, so I mean, it's good to keep players, but I don't know if that's going to be the best long term contract.
right, I think I think especially because like next year's free agency class is going to be a big one. Even if Giannis signs an extension, I mean, you still got Jokic and Donovan Mitchell, which I think. I mean, obviously Donovan Mitchell and the Lakers be cake on defense for got Luca and Donovan Mitchell and the
But
be
Austin
kind
Reeves
of
is not like a great defender. It's not like you're
no
losing much there.
no
But like,
exactly. And what Donovan Mitchell doesn't bring in defense, he brings more in offense, and the same goes for Luca. So it's like I think overall, I think the Lakers would be better off trying to get some, do a sign and trade with the Nets for Austin Reeves, or if that's the team that really wants him, because it looks like the Nets are kind of like the biggest team that's pursuing Austin Reeves, and they're willing to pay him, better money than the Lakers are willing to pay him. So I think if you're the Lakers, you use that to your advantage, and try and bolster, get some assets or something for it. Because I mean, you're the Lakers, you have nothing, you have no picks, you have no, you know, you got Luca and you got Rui Hachimura, but I think people tend to overhype his worth in the trade market. I don't think
yeah,
teams are going to be waiting hand and foot to you know trade it for Rui Hachimura. No disrespect, but it's not as I think people are looking a little too into that. And I mean, the wing is not in short supply in the NBA. It's
no,
a good big, like, that's why Giannis's name is going everywhere. Not only because he's Giannis, but because of the position he plays. Forwards and centers that are that can play as at an elite level that he can are in very short supply in the league.
yeah.
So
I hope he stays in the East too. I can't have so many teams in the West with all the star
no,
players.
no, the West is if the Giannis goes to the West, bro, it's done. It's
Top
just
five players in the league all in the West. But
yeah, no, it'll be insane. Be insane. I saw like a video, or not a video, like a post of some Spurs fans saying you trade Wemby for Fox, or not Wemby for Fox, Fox for Giannis. Golly, I was like,
it's not going to happen.
never gonna happen. But could you imagine
The
Wemby and
Bucks
Giannis
would
on the
not
same
trade
team?
with the Spurs unless they get Harper or Castle, and I don't think the Spurs are willing to give up one
Oh,
of
I
those
wouldn't get
guys.
him up. I
No.
just love to see the delusional fan trades. It's my favorite thing. But just so bad, man, so bad. I don't even know how to like describe it. It's just why. But
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see what happens. Be interesting to see what happens with Giannis. I honestly hope he goes to the Celtics. I think that'd be good for both parties. So I think it'd be fun to see a Giannis Tatum pairing in the East. finally be weird to see Giannis not in a Bucks jersey, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for the league to see a guy like that move from the
Not
Bucks.
not waste the rest of his career on a team that is playing bound every year with
Yeah, I
him.
mean, kudos to him. They won a chip, but that was like a very like they were on a win now or suck forever situation. So
Yeah, it's
I mean
true.
they got it done though, so good for them.